and I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people just like you. Welcome, welcome to our broadcast today. We are so pleased that you have joined us. As you come in, we do ask that you come in giving us the thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. You can text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. I also want you to know, my dear sisters who missed the amazing 2-hour Saturday session entitled The Secret Money in Your Womb, You Are the ATM. I was teaching about how women and men are different. We manifest differently from men. And so the initial course was so popular, so many amazing results, so many testimonies that I did part 2, and I've got to tell you, it was absolutely amazing. You don't want to miss out on the replay. Get it today while we have it available at flynubianmastermind.com. That's flynubianmastermind.com. Okay, somebody shout out to our moderator in the digital building, Vicki Dillard, our fan page. The link is in the chat there, flynubianmastermind.com. Of course, if you are a what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, yes. If you are a clubvicky.com member, again, clubvicky.com, which means that you are
Did you know that for the first time ever, you
in the world? I hate when those little things pop up on these apps. But if you are, sorry about that. If you are a member of my weekly mastermind at clubvicky.com, you can join right now for just $1. And the monthly rate is very reasonable after that. But if you join for $1, you'll get free access to it while you can. I know I did not post earlier about me coming on today, but that's okay. Let's get on with our very, very brief war briefing today, okay? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like. Be sure to share. Now, you all know that there has been a deliberate scheme by members of government and media to frame Black people for attacks against other communities, right? You all are aware that there is a deliberate scheme. There is a deliberate attack to frame us for attacks on other communities. Most recently, the members of the Asian community. So, as a follow-up to that, I want to remind you, not only is it false, is it not true, not only is it propaganda, and not only is it a lie that Black folk are deliberately scheming and intentionally, collectively working to undermine and to attack members of the Asian community. It goes against our record historically. We don't even have that reputation with white people who are responsible for stealing us, kidnapping us, raping us, stealing our labor, have failed to compensate us. They failed to repair us. And most importantly, they are still undermining us. They are still tormenting us. They are still persecuting us. They have not ceased nor desisted from doing harm to us. We know not only that, we know that we are the number one patrons in the Asian community. Black folks, Black dollars are the ones that keep Black Asian businesses such as their beauty supplies, gas station, grocery stores, nail salons. I'm missing something else. And other such businesses, we are the ones that disproportionately patronize their companies. So for us to be the absolute biggest allies to them and being the biggest allies to everybody else too, while we are still being destroyed, and then we're being blamed. Yes, supermarkets. I think I said that. And then they turn around and blame us, frame us. That's the word we need to be using, that we're being framed. It's disheartening. It's disrespectful. And we in Black society, we who are the Black grassroots, will not take it. We will not sit back idly and just let the false prophet that is the media, the talking heads in media, we will not allow them to lie on us and to frame us without us fighting back. Somebody talk black to me. We've got something to say about this. You must understand that business is warfare. Are y'all hearing me today? Business is warfare. One of the greatest reminders of that is the fact that we were brought here for what purposes? Economic and business exploitation by our open enemies. Is that right? You must never lose sight of that, family. That business is warfare. This is the reason there is extraordinary resistance to Black people receiving reparations. Our economic deprivation is precisely what members of the dominant society want to keep in place to ensure their rule and dominance over us. So I am not someone that is against Black folk having money and resources. When you have money and resources, that is the underbelly for Black liberation and Black self-determination. I need you to understand, understand, and overstand exactly what I'm talking about today. Did you hear what I just said? Business is warfare. So I am not of the belief that we're supposed to be broke down, scrambling for pennies. We are the original owners of the planet. And what we know as we study the universe, because the universe is our university, is that everything in nature is abundant. It is dysfunctional to normalize lack and poverty. You should not take joy in the fact that someone has to struggle every month to pay their mortgage, to pay their rent, to pay their bills. You should not feel jealous or some kind of way because someone doesn't have to use coupons when they go to the grocery store. This is why we advise you here to learn how to build and create a Black business by going to flynubianbusiness.com and learning from other Black people. This is why we advise you to go to flynubianmoney.com so that you can learn about stocks and investment. Again, that's flynubianbusiness.com and flynubianmoney.com. Business is warfare. Long time ago, I heard the minister say that in a lecture somewhere. You must understand that's the reason why they do everything they can to economically strangle you. So when you burst out and demand the resources that are yours, and you begin to build an economic legacy, that gives you freedom, dear family, and options. That is a life that you can determine what it will be for yourself. Some of you are so susceptible to your open enemy, number one, because you don't have values and you don't know who you are and you don't know who the devil is. But another reason some of you are so vulnerable to influences of your open enemy is because they can buy you. And some of you are very cheap to buy. Your price tag isn't very much. During the foreclosure crisis under Bush and then Obama, when your government failed to protect mostly Black folk that was disproportionately losing most of their wealth and property, to expedite the theft, y'all need to listen, to expedite the theft of Wall Street and our open enemies, in order to bypass the legal and judicial process, some of the bankers, by and through some of their agencies and lawyers, offered some of you what they call cash for keys. They didn't want to wait the months to go through the legal process because they were losing money every month that they had to follow the law. And so long as some of you, depending on what state you were in, were still in possession of the home, that obstructed their agenda to quickly remove you so that they could turn around and either resell the home, sell it on the secondary or the tertiary market and make big money and get a big payout. Some of you did not understand when you were trying to negotiate remodification deals with the mortgage folk. You were trying to pay them. You were trying to work it out with them. You were trying to give them money. And you were scratching your head and you were wondering, why would a bank not be willing to renegotiate a deal with me and to take some of this money that I have up front to ensure I can keep my home and to work out a deal with them going forward? You didn't know that they were intentionally pushing you into foreclosure because they had no intention of keeping your loan and they preferred to get a big payout from whoever they sold it from. And some of you didn't know that they had insurance on the home. So sometimes the insurance companies would have to pay them for foreclosure loss. And some of you didn't know that on top of that, They were getting an IRS write-off because of said loss. The game was rigged. The cash for keys, aside from the mortgage situation, that was just one scheme I mentioned that was perpetrated at the highest levels of Wall Street and their legal agents and the courts in many cases. To usurp the process, to get you to get out of the home faster, they hired folk to offer you $1,000, $1,200, $1,600 for your keys. In other words, for possession. If you moved out of your own accord, they gave you extra money, which is called cash for keys, which means that they didn't have to spend the money legally, and they did not have to wait the months to possess the home. And it was a win-win for them so that they could expedite the theft on the back end. Somebody talk black to me. Now we're finding that there are multiple economic proposals to get some of you who are economically insecure to take that shot and to give your babies the shot. So when we are concerned about where we're going to eat, what we're going to eat, how we're going to pay the bills, and someone offers you $1,000 and tells you and your babies to get immunized, you tend to be more susceptible to such schemes. I'm going to say it again. Business is warfare. I'm giving you just a mere couple of examples because I want you to understand that it is systemic, it is diabolical, it is multi-pronged, and it's happening on multiple levels. And much of it stems back to the lack of resources. You all know that when they look at crime stats, we find that the crime stats have a direct correlation with the lack of resources, with poverty. When you solve economic problems, you understand you're solving crime. Y'all ain't listening. Many folk who have illnesses, they were induced because of their concern and stress economically, or the environment of the job, the demands of a job. When you solve the economic problem, you're solving health issues. You understand that a large percentage of folk who file bankruptcy because they have outrageous medical bills. You understand? In some marriages, many folk in marriages, when they're getting divorced, cite economics, money, as the reason for the divorce. I'm trying to get you to see that money matters and that you must erase whatever negative slave programming that you inherited in your genes and in your DNA. There's a such thing as epigenetics. I first started studying this, I don't even know how many years ago now, maybe 13 some odd years ago, where there's things that you can actually do to reverse stuff that's in your genes, because there are some conditions that we inherit that is said to be in our genes, and we're told there's nothing we can do about it, but new science proves differently. Somebody talk black to me. I know I didn't post that I was doing the show today, but family, come on in, giving us the thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share, would you? Come on in, giving us a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. On the count of 3, for those of you that haven't, hit that thumbs up button. 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I've said all that because I want to share with you very briefly a story. And shout out to my brother Phil. I saw this. He was on one of his platforms. I'm on one of his platforms. I do commentary for him. So I got wind of the story initially from there. This was some days back, but I finally decided to do it today. I want you to take a picture, but the story was actually from a reporter at Atlanta Star. So I went to Atlanta Star's page and got the information. This is the sister I'm going to be talking about. This black woman is a business owner. I don't know why I'm getting all these pop-ups. This black woman is a beauty store owner. Now, a lot of you, tend to say things like, black women stay out of these Asian shops. I say it, obviously. And especially the ones that we know for sure have a reputation for disrespecting, attacking black people. We've seen instances where we've been successful, our people have been successful in shutting down a shop for several days, and some of the backstabbing bootlicks and bones and biscuits, you will run right past the protesters and stand in solidarity with our anti-black enemies. That's a shame. That's a sickness. What I also understand is that there are not enough black beauty business owners. So this is not something that we're just going to do haphazardly and have the impact that we want. We've got to begin to build and to make the transition. There are places that we know of that have disrespected us, that we've got no business going into their shops, going into their stores. And for some of my sisters, some of you feel that you don't have enough options. I know this because of my medical situation. When I do go out, I have someone that drives me. There's a distance situation for me. There's a demographic issue that's sorely lacking where I am. So when you're someone that's considered to have a disability or a medical illness, and you tell somebody, just find some place, and the nearest place is 3 hours away, you are being disrespectful and unthinking. You're not willing to do the logistics and set the necessary things in place for black folk to truly thrive. While most of you that's saying that, the people that you hire to do your computer work ain't black. The people that you hire to do your tech stuff isn't black. The people you buy your cars from, they're not black. You still getting gas from non-black business owners, non-black gas stations. I'm saying that this has to be a multi-pronged strategy. And we're not going to be successful beating up on our people and telling them what they do and what they don't need, especially when you're talking to sisters who are looking forward to economically bankrupting folk who are exploiting and disrespecting us. Somebody talk black to me. Now that I've said all that, I want you to listen to this clip. Let me read this disclaimer. Family, come on in, giving us a thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. Thank you so much. My name is Vicki Dillard. I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com. I'm doing a brief war briefing today. Like I said, I did not post. Some of you didn't think I was coming on today. I had a lot going on, and I need to do medical stuff here shortly. So I'm really going to keep it brief. But don't go anywhere yet, okay? Thumbs up, share, 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 share. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now, one of the reasons, and I'm cueing the video now that I want you to listen to. One of the reasons I'm bringing up how empathetic and sympathetic we as a people historically are known to be is because right now we're being bullied. Right now, Black people are experiencing being bullied, being framed, and being set up. But folk are turning around and flipping it, pretending like we're the bullies. See, when Black folk start to call out white supremacy, when we start calling out anti-Black racism, when we start identifying those who exploit us, when we expose that those that call us criminals, you're really the criminal, you're really the prostitution ring, you're really the human trafficking headquarters, you're really the economic thief, you're really the predator, people get upset. And then they start to conflate us, the 466-year victims, as the 466-year perpetrators. People get mad when you call out their schemes. And because they know, many of them, that they're the children of our former slave masters. Because they know that they are the recipients and the benefactors of our very bloody, uncompensated labor. Whether they own slaves or not, whether they were directly related in the slave trade or not, there is not one person of one color, one race, one ethnicity, one background, one faith, one whatever, that has not benefited from Black folks' labor, our bloody labor, our bloody uncompensated labor. They know they're guilty. And those that are benefactors don't want to give up the benefits, but they're quick to tell us to get over it. They're quick to tell us we shouldn't get reparations. They're quick to tell us to forget about it. They're cyberbullying us. And we're not going to take it. And let me say this to every powerful person, every corporation and company, every politician, every mover or shaker, every thought leader, every shifter. Woe be to you who would try to obstruct our way. Woe be to any of you that would try to prevent, frustrate, foil, or sabotage us in any way. I see you, London. Hear me. Your efforts to censor and silence us will be met 1,000-fold. When I say 1,000-fold, I don't mean literally 1,000. I mean beyond that. I use that just as a number to mess with your consciousness, to stretch your expectation of a return. I know my words are powerful. More than that, I know my presence and my assignment in the earth at this time. And I say, woe be to the corporations, woe be to the politicians, woe be to the leaders that would dare to obstruct and to silence and to frame us and to bully us and to set us up. You will ultimately not win. Woe be to every one of you. You better understand something else too. Because the ancestors, because the Most High and its vast universe, it's got our back. What you're doing in secret, even though you think you're patting down everybody before they get in to make sure that they don't have any recording devices. Spirit has a way of letting it leak out. You will get exposed and you will lose. We are more than what meets the eye. We are backed by and supported by a force you can see, an army you can see in some instances, and one that you cannot. And this very black magic, God today, this very black energy, this very black prerogative that is ours as the original people whose time has come, whose appointed time has come. We're going to enjoy this prerogative, and there is absolutely nothing you will be able to do about it. You will try, and you will appear to be winning for a season, but it will all come crashing down. Watch this. Henceforth, even forevermore. And your remnants and your reality, there will be no vestiges of your stay on our planet. Not our planet, on our planet. There will not even be a scintilla, a dust remnant that you were even here. And it will be due solely because of your rebellion and you rebuffing harmony and divine nature. So whether you're listening to me or not, whether you're in some highfalutin position or not, whether you think yourself to be powerful or not, it's only temporary. I just wanted to put that out there into the atmosphere. Thumbs up, family. I've already read the disclaimer. You're listening now. A few months ago, a beauty supply owner, a black woman, she's getting ready to reveal certain Korean suppliers' tactics to deliberately make black beauty business owners fail. She is one. And I want you all to listen. Somebody said they just got goosebumps. Well, talk black to me. Listen to this dear sister. Again, shout out to Atlanta Black Star for this
don't feel interview. Like they want to do direct business with African Americans because they just personally don't feel like they want to.
And while we're doing that, thumbs up, family. Share, share, share. While I'm doing my brief commentary today, our moderator, who's highlighted in blue, is going to put important information in the chat. So be sure to pay attention to that today, okay? So for the time being, family, unfortunately, the super chat won't be available for you, for those that keep asking. For the next few days, we're trying to address that. Somebody talk black to me. I'm going to leave that there. Thumbs up, family. Share, share, share. On the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Somebody else saying they're getting chills. Talk black to me. It's that divine energy. Family, our time has come.
Direct business. Just personally don't feel like they want to do direct business with African Americans because they are intimidated, because they do come into our communities and actually set up shop.
Tequila Fletcher opened a beauty supply store in her Tampa Bay community in August.
Listen, this is the name Tequila in the Tampa Bay area. She doing for self. Somebody say do for self. Started her own business. Wanted to do a supply company. Some of you don't understand some of the workings, the stuff that's happening on the back end. And I'm exposing this because I want you brothers. I want those of you, some of my sisters who have this expertise, but specifically I am talking to some of our brothers. This is what you can do to help. This sister is being obstructed. Oh, wow, your hometown. Wow. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I want you to listen to our sister again. I'm getting ready to start it over so that you can listen.
Personally don't feel like they want to do direct business with African Americans because they are intimidated, because they do come into our communities and actually set up shop.
Tequila Fletcher opened a beauty supply store in her Tampa Bay community in August, but she's a needle in a haystack. Typically, Korean Americans own beauty supply stores frequented by African Americans in these urban neighborhoods.
I think that some of us are intimidated.
Hair care is a billion-dollar industry, and a 2018 Nielsen report shows that African Americans spent $54 million on ethnic hair and beauty products alone. Yet Fletcher told Atlanta Black Star that she and many other Black beauty supply owners have issues with getting products on their shelves from distributors who don't want to do business with them.
Y'all listen. Y'all listen. This is some of the inner workings that's going on.
I had a guy who actually has a large store in Georgia.
Listen.
Where he basically had to find him another face, shall I say, just so he can get the account.
Korean Americans have...
Do you understand what she means by he found another face? In other words, the brother that she's referring to apparently got either somebody white or somebody of another ethnicity, that another race that wasn't Black, to order stuff for him because when they knew he was Black, they weren't willing to work with him. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. What did I start the show by telling you? Business is warfare. So when you just start saying, well, sisters, open up your own shops. And then when the sisters that open up their shops tell you the obstruction that they're running into, the sabotage that they're running into, they're trying to explain to you that there is a national and an international network and frame that's set out there to keep them shut out. She's going to give us a little bit more information, okay? Y'all listen. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, share, share.
Dominated the Black hair care industry for decades, controlling the manufacturing and the distribution, according to Shop Black.
According to Shop Black, they control the manufacturing and the distribution. Yes, it's systemic and it's international. So don't just, I'm trying to tell you what the sisters are up against. I'm trying to tell you what makes it difficult. I'm trying to tell you that me living even in Colorado, I don't have this problem now because I have someone that I get my products directly from that's a Black woman. And of course, the people that do my hair and that I get my beauty products from are Black. But it was difficult for a time because I live in Colorado. There are not many Black beauty supply stores here. And the ones that were here, no disrespect to some of the sisters, they didn't even provide the basic things that a woman needs. Some of the supply stores, the beauty supply, Black beauty supply stores I went to, it was like a little trinket shop. I mean, just let's keep it real. It was absolutely nothing in there that I would buy that I wouldn't turn around before I got a block away and throw away or give away. No disrespect. But there is obstruction. And I'm putting this out there to the Black community so that you can solve this problem of obstruction or help us figure out another thing to do. Are y'all hearing me today? Somebody said Chris Rock's Chris Rock's documentary talked about that too. That's true. But some folks don't remember. They just want to run off at the mouth and tell Black women what they need to do. No, you make our world easier, bruh. While you still getting everything, including all of your technological services from somebody that's Black. You still buying from, getting your car from other folks other than Black. Again, I've made it clear. It's our job, sis, to help economically bankrupt these exploitative and predatory communities. But I'm letting you know that there's, in some instances, it's a bit of a pickle. It's a bit of a hiccup. Rob, the solution is to go natural. Rob, sit your funny looking self down. Sit your funny looking self down. Go natural with your mortgage. Go natural with your gas. Use natural gas for your car, bruh. Go natural with your outfits. Even if you are natural, you still need the best products. I haven't had a perm in my hair in I don't know how many years. Closer to 20 years than it is the 15-year mark. I wear curly braids. I have also a medical issue. Sit your funny looking self down. That ain't no solution. Going natural requires even more maintenance sometimes than a perm. You just talking. I'm being very transparent. Even my short nails has to do with my medical issue. My split nail that looks like I missed where to paint it from. And because of the pandemic, I haven't been going to get my natural services like I want to help with the maintenance of that. Shut up. We're goddesses. We're the divine feminine. You should want to make sure we have the best of the best and whatever we want. And because I'm the original woman, whatever hairstyle I have is a Black hairstyle. Sit your funny looking self down. With your cheap, probably need some extracurricular cash self. Can't stand people that say that, just run off at the mouth. Make sure your gas is natural in your car. Make sure everything in your life is natural. I'm the original woman. I set the style. Whatever I wear is Black. Women that go natural need more help and assistance than anybody. Wearing a natural do still means you need to go to the beauty place to get the products that you need, slowness. Can't stand where people just run off at the mouth and just talk. Just be natural. Do you want your woman's toes to look natural? Do you want your woman's toes to look natural? I don't know how I hit that. Do you want her to have rough feet looking natural? Just be yourself. Let your hair grow all out on your legs. Your armpits grow. I know some sisters believe in that. I don't do that. More power to you, sis. Just be natural. Shut up. That's a trick. That's a YouTube trick for somebody that don't know nothing about the maintenance of a woman and don't have the resources to keep her maintained. Funny looking self. Some of y'all silly Negroes, you more girly and bussy than the sisters. You be all up in my comments, sending me emails, DMs. What kind of wig is that? Fool? Am I your woman? What is it to you? I can never be yours. There is no way you could ever matriculate to this here. Why do you even care? I'm somebody that you can look at just for a few minutes and flip past quickly. These are curly braids. Braids are a black hairstyle. Our ancestors of old, men and women, wore locks. They wore extensions. Some of it was from vegetation and some of it was from other folks' hair. I did a whole show on it. Some of you mocked it. And I don't do nothing but historical receipts. Funny looking self. Who cares? Do you have a woman? That's the only woman you ought to be worried about what she look like. What she got on. Because you can't keep up with the maintenance of something that's extraordinary. Just be natural. Okay, sis, let your toenails grow out for them then. Don't shave them legs. Don't shave nothing. Let your armpits go crazy. Don't put no lotion on. Matter of fact, why even take a bath? Just be natural. You sound like a nut. Just be natural. I'm the original woman. I set the standard. It's what I say. I set the style. Thank you. One of the moderators and I already put the link in the chat. The spirituality of hair. I broke that down. What do you know anyway? You just say something easy and then put all the pressure on the sister. And you ain't got a dime, a dollar, or nothing to help fund that. People that can't fund it needs to hush. What I'm telling you gonna bless your life. Don't just go natural with your hair, sis. Let your armpits be natural. Let your hair arms, all the hair on your arms grow. Let the hair everywhere just grow, grow, grow. Unkempt. Let your toenails grow. Don't soften your feet, sis. Stop taking a bubble bath. Be natural. You don't consider nobody's nut. You just talking. Just run your mouth. Let me get off of this. The show's supposed to be almost over. Go back to this, sis. Thumbs up, family. Share, 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 share. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Very hard because a lot of, and then I even met a guy who actually has a large store in Georgia where he basically had to find him a face, shall I say, just so he can get the account.
Korean Americans have dominated the block.
Now you need to pay attention to these tactics. The sister said a black man in Georgia. Y'all know it's a lot of black folk in Georgia. Y'all know, I'm sure, that the sisters down there are keeping it together and looking just gorgeous if they shop at this man's big store. But she said the man that has a big store, a brother, She said he's got to get somebody else of another nationality, another race, to get the stuff for him. Because when they know he's black, they shut him out. Talk black to me. I'm trying to let some of you brothers know why you ain't got your life together. You don't have the woman of your dreams with all that natural talk. We're going natural. Everything finna be natural. That doesn't even make sense. That's anti-creation. Even when you are making a garden, a farmer still has to till the ground. You gotta work nature. To even sow a seed into the ground for a harvest, you've got to actually till the ground. You don't just say, oh, it's all natural. It requires no maintenance. You cut your grass. Let's hope. Do you say just let the grass be natural? Let the weeds grow all over the place. Let it grow up on the windows and the doors and to scare everybody in the house. This is your earth. You have to be involved in beautifying and maintaining it. Maintenance. There's work to be done with the natural. You can't even extract the benefits, the medicinal benefits from most herbs without putting heat to it. That's the reason why you make teas for a lot of the herbs, to pull out its healing properties. Somebody talk black to me. Funny looking self. The food that you get sometimes is natural, but some food you shouldn't just eat raw because it's not good for your stomach. Some stuff you got to put fire to it. Somebody in the corner of the internet trying to give me some advice, telling us just go natural. Everything about the woman was always elegant. Everything about the woman was always about self-care. And we finna sit here and take advice for some stranger that don't want to put up no money to make it. Boy, sit your funny looking self down.
Hair care industry for decades, controlling the manufacturing and the distribution, according to Shop Black.
It's very hard because a lot of them, either they wasn't responding or they just refused just to give you the accounts altogether. Some of them were saying that, your application wasn't complete, when I know good and well that I did everything that I was supposed to.
Listen to the tactics that this sister is exposing. Listen to all the obstructive things that she said some of these Korean suppliers where she was supposed to be getting all this stuff from. Listen to what she says, little tricks that they were doing.
Refused just to give you the accounts altogether. Some of them were saying that, your application wasn't complete, when I know good and well that I did everything that I was supposed to.
Fletcher says one of the hardest products to get is virgin extensions, which also happens to be the moneymaker.
So where is this hair coming from?
China.
Y'all listen. And for somebody else, which I don't usually pay attention to this, but I got to help a lot of you that's thrown up here in this region, saying looking elegant natural. I didn't say you couldn't look elegant natural, but it's my choice. You don't get to tell me what you consider elegant to be. I decide. And regardless to whatever you consider elegant to be, whether you say natural or you do extensions or you do whatever, it still requires products from a beauty supply place. You don't get to tell me. You go run over there and get your natural. That's what you consider to be attractive, and your flow and your frequency, your vibration. Regardless, it It doesn't matter. It still requires products, cosmetics. Some of you that's running your mouth, you just a secret hater, some of you. And a lot of times people that say that, your whole life and look and body is all in shambles too. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Family, you don't let even another Negro in your community try to bully you from what you consider beauty to be, and you the original woman. What you look like having a conversation with a stranger that tell you wear African hairstyle, slowness. If you don't get your funny looking stuff out my face, and now, if we're gonna talk about going all the way back, you need all of your spiritual practice need to be African. Your home life needs to be African. Your worldview needs to be African. And half the folks in Africa trying to look like us. That's so silly. None of y'all that deep and that back in the day to ever put Vicki under any pressure like that. On no day. I don't allow people to bully me when I know I'm the original woman. I set the standard today. Talk about Nefertiti. Talk about Isis, I said. You looking at her. What? You pick and choose the stuff you want to go back and do. And all they got to do with is a hairstyle. But the Europeans, shut up. It's what I say. It's the hairstyle I like. Funny looking self. Just be talking. This has been a persistent thing I've dealt with. And then the same one that'll say that, some of you all be the same one that say, people so superficial. No, you superficial. You're the one that's focused on all the outside stuff. You're the one that has a problem like that. I said, I'm the original woman. I just sat here and told you that the original ancient Kemetic people wore literally, historically, extensions. And then some fool will say, go African. What fool? What slowness? Talk black to me. Somebody said they'll block their troll. We're going to let them stay in there. We'll see what else they say in a minute. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I apologize, family. I didn't post today. Some of you all didn't think I was going to do a show today. I had too much going on. I'm doing a brief war briefing real quick. Thumbs up, thumbs up. The link is in the chat of the show that I did a long time ago called The Spirituality of Hair, because some of these funny looking internet haters. Some of you all, you get one little revelation from something back in the day, and then you become a Pharisee for whatever new revelation you got. Well, I done went so-and-so, and you was doing this thing for 30 years, and last month you stopped. Somebody said, leaving this conversation alone. No, baby, it's the Vicki show. I'm going to work it because I'm spiritual, and I can tell when I need to keep driving this out. If you got to go, flip. This the Vicki show. That's the altar. I run this, and I'm going to drive a subject in the ground when I see it's a stronghold in the mind of a people that's being a knucklehead right now. I'm talking about to those it refers to. I pull out when I feel like it. When I know I didn't handle it in the way and I feel in my spirit is sufficient. In fact, more people that say that, I'm going to keep staying on the subject. Talk black to me. I got to correct some of you. You think you know something about your ancients, and you don't. Run around here with your Nikes on. Shut up. Go natural. Take them Nikes out. Talk black to me. It's what I say. I'm the goddess. It's the day in real time, in real form. Keep listening to this sister. Thumbs up, share, share, share.
Or they just refuse just to give you the accounts altogether. Some of them were saying that, oh, you know, your application was incomplete, when I know good well that I did everything that I was supposed to.
Fletcher says one of the hardest products to get is virgin extensions, which also happens to be the moneymaker.
So where is this hair coming from?
Now, this is interesting. She said this is the moneymaker. This is what this sister is trying to secure and get for her shop. But listen to what she's saying the Korean suppliers do.
China.
Hold on.
China.
Which also happens to be the moneymaker.
So where is this hair coming from?
Fletcher says one of the hardest products to get is virgin extensions, which also happens to be the moneymaker.
So where is this hair coming from?
China. China. There's only two sources that actually manufactures hair. You got India, and China is buying from India as well. And then you got China. So there is no other that I know of that actually is manufacturing.
And Fletcher added that most of these distributors work with Asian-owned beauty supply stores, continuing to close the gap on Blacks having the opportunity to get into an industry that has prospered off of the support of Black customers.
But they make the ordering process so difficult. And when I want...
Okay, y'all heard the other tactics. Now she's telling you how difficult they make the ordering process, right? Listen.
Certain products, oh no, we don't have it. When I know you do have it, you just want to give me what you want me to have and not be able to supply me with what's in demand.
But there's history behind the tension. Korean Americans started selling wigs in 1960, first by going door to door, according to Minnesota Public Radio. Soon they moved into storefronts, but Blacks that frequented these shops felt unwelcome.
Y'all think about that. How many of you all know that some of the folks in the Asian community have had in the 60s, if it's about 1960, that's what, 60 some years? At least, approximately, head start that they've had on pandering to Black folk. The head start that they have to control the manufacturing. Remember, that's what they said earlier in the report. The manufacturing they control and the distribution. The sister is trying to tell you some of the stuff that they're up against. And so some of you that think that's quick to say, do this, do that, I'm telling you the problem so you can run along and figure out the solution. See, no more is folks in the Black community going to just tell Black women what they need to do. No, I'm telling you the problem so that you can run along and help figure out the solution. 2. Somebody say 50 years. Well, aren't we in 2020? And if 1960, and it depends on when, if it was in the actual 1960, starting in 1960, that's 40 years. If you're talking about 2000, we're in 2020 plus 20, that's about 60 years. It may be 50 something if it was in the middle of the 60s, right? Somebody said, Vicki, where's your hammer? Right here, beloved. Talk Black to me. Talk Black to me.
Door to door, according to Minnesota Public Radio. Soon they moved into storefronts, but Blacks that frequented these shops felt unwelcomed, often reporting incidents of harassment. NPR News points to an incident in North Carolina that involved reports of an Asian store owner on camera choking a customer who was accused of stealing fake lashes. It's one of the many examples where Blacks reported feeling that they were being treated unfairly while shopping in Korean-owned stores. Today, more African Americans are seeking Black-owned beauty.
That's devilish. That is satanic. And that's the stuff we're talking about in terms of economically bankrupting these predatory community and stores. To immediately stop going into the ones like that one, those that you know for sure. Meanwhile, there are not enough Black beauty supply stores, period. And those of you that are trying to tell folks what they do and don't need, you can be a part of the solution. You are still frequenting, you're still using tech folk, you're still using for all your business services, white people who have historically been way more predatory than some of the Asians. I'm seeking solutions is what I'm saying, family. I'm saying I've been the ones that's been shouting, stop going to their store, stop doing this. But that can't just be it. There's some demographic areas. There's some issues with sisters not being able enough beauty supply stores. There's obstruction for those sisters. There are people that have medical disabilities and issues, distance issues. This is why we emphasize go to flynubianbusiness.com, go to flynubianmoney.com so that you can begin to have the resources, the knowledge, and the know-how so that you can help to start to build Black.
Supply stores for their needs.
Black hair has always.
Wait a minute, listen to this part.
Today, more African Americans are seeking Black-owned beauty supply stores for their needs.
Black hair has always been,
and that's a fact,
an essential part to the Black community. It is how we show up in the world. And, the beauty supply stores, they need to be relatable. And I think that supporting Black businesses right now is so crucial and important.
For Williams, the challenge has been actually finding Black-owned beauty supply stores.
Thank you.
I don't know of many.
So what did she say? She's been having a difficulty finding supply stores. And this sister is a natural, for real natural. And she still need a beauty supply store.
Black-owned beauty supply stores, but I would love to support them. Absolutely. Just for the relatable experience and also to empower the Black economy. Our hair tells our stories. It's our history. It's our heritage and our culture. And I absolutely would love to support more Black businesses in general, but especially in the beauty industry.
Ashanti.
Absolutely. So shout out to them for that piece. But I wanted you all to listen to this sister that exposed the tactics. She is a Black woman that has her own Black shop. But all of the items that she gets in the store, she's not originally sourcing some of that stuff. There's some things that she needs to get elsewhere. And like she says they dominate in terms of manufacturing and distribution. So I'm saying for those of you business masterminds out there, this is a wonderful problem for you to help solve. This is a problem not just because of those sisters that gets their hair and nails done today. This is a problem because we failed to build over the past several years in the first place. And it's real easy for you to simply tell the sisters nowadays, you just stop. Again, I've done it myself, told folks to stop. But that can't just be all. Why are they doing it like this in the first place? You, as a whole in Black society needs to take responsibility for your failure to have proper infrastructure. It's so easy for you to say, if the sisters would just know, if you had built and had infrastructure and was a builder in the first place, if you were a do-for-selfer when you should have been one. Some of this could have been avoided. I'm saying if we take a collective approach to finding a sustainable solution to this, this would be so much better. I believe we can have an immediate impact now because some of us have been successful in shutting down certain known predatory Asian shops. But we got to be honest. They have a stronghold in the beauty industry. And in some areas and in some instances, it is not easy to not have interface with some of these folks when they clearly dominate the industry, manufacturing and the distribution. But it's a new day. I'm bringing this to our attention so that we can solve the problem together. And I'm not going to just say, just sister, stop. I say that too. Clearly I do. But that cannot be the only approach. Talk Black to me. Business is warfare. Now, let me tell y'all something. Did you all hear me yesterday? And again, today's show is very brief. Thumbs up, family. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. You can text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. Tubex says, Vicki, you are the best. Thank you, beloved. Thank you so much. Right, TMJ said, not even a realistic approach. And that's what my goal is, to provide a realistic approach. You don't get to sit up there and talk about the white man is this and the white man is that. You buy your cars from him, you get your gas, you still go to their grocery stores. But the only people that's expected to really do the hard work of doing the economic boycott is just the sisters. Yes, we have a responsibility. Again, I'm specifically talking about especially the stores where Black folks have been successful at shutting it down, and some of the ratchets will pass right past the protesters to go in there and stand in solidarity with our open enemy. I called that out already. I do that all the time. But that's not fair. It's not right. Talk Black to me. Now, this is a separate issue. I talked about this yesterday, but I want to bring it up again because I honestly felt this to be a manifestation a consequence of specifically the Democrats disrespecting Black people. I showed you this article yesterday, and I want to keep the pressure on. This is an article I'm reading to you from CNN now that says 2 Asian American senators back off threat to oppose Biden nominees after White House agrees to add senior AAPI advisor. Senators Tammy Duckworth and Senator Hirono on Tuesday backed off their threat to vote against any of President Joe Biden's nominees who aren't minorities after going public with their anger that the cabinet lacks Asian Americans. Think about that. And Duckworth earlier saying she felt insulted by the White House's attempts to brush off her concerns. It says the move came after a tense Monday exchange between Duckworth and a top Biden aide. Now, I've tagged these 2 senators a couple of times. When I first learned about it. Tammy Duckworth, this is her. I mean, now this little thing is in front of her face. I hate when this thing does that. This is the Asian Senator Tammy Duckworth. I think she's a veteran and that she was, experienced some kind of a accident or something, explosion or something when she was in the military. Duckworth, her, and a Hirono, in fact, these two Asian senators, these are two female Asian senators. I asked you all this the other day and I want to repeat this. How many Black female senators are there in Congress? I'm going to keep bringing this up. These are two Asian American female senators. How many Black female senators are there in Congress? Exactly 0. It disturbs me. When we have been in this country for 466 years, and Japanese Americans' children, those that were interned after World War II, for 3 years, not raped, not enslaved, none of their labor was stolen. I'm not saying it was right, obviously, the concentration, putting them in one area together so that they can monitor them because of the attack of Pearl Harbor. Nobody experienced 466 years of hell, but they got reparations and we didn't. We don't have one Black female senator. I'm not talking about the House of Representatives. Senators. Each state only gets 2 senators, family. That means there's 100 senators. There are no Black female senators. But we got at least 2 of them, 2 Asian ones, and they're sitting up there putting pressure on the White House, refusing to vote for anything that Biden is doing. Watch this. But didn't they tell you, Black family, that if you don't vote, you lose? Didn't they tell you that if you don't vote, you die? But these Asian female American senators threatened to do exactly the same thing. They refused to vote. They issued a threat and told Biden that they will not vote for his nominees. And lo and behold, they got some action. People who didn't build the country, people who aren't being oppressed at the level that we are. We're still waiting in line for justice. Do you all see how stupid this is for us to fight the fights of other people? And some of you Negroes sitting up here pushing this lie along with everybody else as if Black folks are attacking some other community. You out there putting the little hashtags, I'm not even going to say it right now, going along with all of this mess. When you give wind for that, other people get to butt in line. They're getting more action than we're getting. There are at least 2 female Asian senators, and we don't even have 1 Black female senator. And I think, maybe 3 or so Black male senators, approximately. Y'all gonna learn. You're gonna learn that it does not pay to cape for other people when you are still hurting yourself, you're still struggling yourself, your people are still being murdered wholesale. All of the voter laws that they sitting here freaking out about now, those voter laws are not targeted at other people groups. They are specifically and especially targeting us. It's humiliating. Some of you claim that Jesus told you to speak up for everybody else. Some of you will claim that your morals have something to do with you speaking up for somebody else. When even you can learn this lesson from an airplane ride. When the flight attendants, when you're giving you the instructions, they let you know that if something happens, don't you dare worry about somebody else's oxygen first. They let you know that you need to secure your own oxygen before you go trying to help somebody else. That's what I'm saying to Black America. And you're so twisted and sick with your slave thinking that you actually let other people punk you into believing that you're being selfish or that you yourself are being a hater for looking out for your people. When you look out for your people, they turn around and call you a hater, and then you turn around and say, well, because I don't want them to call me a hater, I'm going to back off me focusing on my people. That's a slave. That's a trick that works only on slaves. God today. That's a trick that only works on slaves. Enlightened, intelligent people who know who they are never bullied and punked into believing that because they are looking out for the well-being of themselves and their people first after near 500 years, that only a slave can be punked like that. A devil worshiper. Y'all play too much. What you mean a devil worshiper? I'm going to leave that there. Those of you who believe, who believe that your oppressor is God, and in fact they're the opposer, you worship. That's what a devil worshiper is. With your funny looking self. Only a slave can be tricked into believing that, and only a slave would even care what their open enemy thinks. An enlightened and conscious Black person doesn't give 2 cents about what the person that raped and sodomized and stole from them and lied on them and defrauded them and exploited them. No, enlightened people don't even care what they think like that. No intelligent Black person loses sleep or prioritize their thoughts. Only a slave gets tricked like that. Only a slave. I broke down the other day on my other show. Gave you nothing but evidence. Let me do it today. Keep giving us a thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, share. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. I know a lot of folks didn't think I was going live today. I did not post my show. Family had a whole lot going on, a lot of medical stuff going on, and some other pending matters to where I was just almost overwhelmed. So I didn't even worry about it. So I just said I was going to do a brief show today, and then I'm going to take care of my medical stuff here in a little bit, okay? But thank those of you all that came on in. Don't forget that I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com. Listen to this. Where is this one at? Is this the one? Remember, I told you guys, even before mainstream media started to do articles on it, on the 3 Atlanta spy area. I don't know exactly Atlanta, but in the Atlanta area, the 3 different spies that was experienced an attack from this white man, not Black people. Nobody Black was targeting any other community. Nobody Black was targeting the Asian community. It was a whole white man that did that. And right now, we can't even say for sure what the specific motives were, because people are saying that because most of the women, most of the people that were killed were Asian women. What we know in the Black community is that Asians disproportionately own and operate salons, parlors, and different businesses, especially where there's a large Black enclaves. The media, I'm not even sure why they're not even mentioning that. That's not true. I do know why they're not mentioning that. They're not mentioning that because of this prostitution, human trafficking issue that they know is going on. I brought that up early on. Somebody put a little bug in my ear. I started to do some research, and then I went public with that I wanted there to be a more thorough investigation. Family, don't let anybody make you feel bad because you're not jumping to any conclusion with some narrative that white supremacist media is giving you. Don't forget it was the white media that helped to lie about their Saddam Hussein having weapons of mass destruction. The media helps to lie. Nobody is beating up or disrespecting some of the community because we're saying, no, we are aware of other information and other things that are going on over there, and we need the whole truth. We're the most forgiving, the most empathetic, the most loving people. We love everybody. We don't believe any community should be unjustly harmed or attacked, period. Talk black to me. Thumbs up, family. I already talked about the fact that some of the spies that were targeted by that white terrorist had been under investigation for prostitution rings for a decade. But this recent article, it just cleared out. This recent article that I was looking at, see, shows the gold spy. That was one of the spies that was involved. This particular one is from New York Times. Thank you all so much for your support of me and the network, beloved. This particular article is talking about these folks that are outside of the attacked Asian spa and how there were actual arrests. Police made prostitution arrests several years ago at spa in Atlanta shooting. Again, you've got to ask yourself, why isn't the mainstream media, in addition to all that other stuff they're talking about, why aren't they talking about that reality? Whenever there is a murder or something unfortunate that happens in an area that's crime ridden, nobody is surprised that crime goes down in areas where crime goes down. Nobody is shocked. It's sad. It's unfortunate that someone is murdered or hurt, but nobody is shocked and surprised when you're engaged in criminal activity, criminal consequences. You experience criminal consequences. We're saying that it is very clear that the spas that were targeted had criminal activity, illegal criminal activity. This particular piece from New York Times says 3 women that were killed on Tuesday at the Gold Spa in Atlanta. The Atlanta Police Department arrested at least 11 people and charged them with prostitution-related offenses between 2011 and 2014 at a massage business where 3 women were killed this week, according to the department records. The arrests were made after massage therapists at the business Gold Spa in Northeast Atlanta offered to perform. Y'all listen. If you got babies, be mindful. If you got babies, be mindful. I'm going to read this. This is from New York Times. The arrests were made after massage therapists at the business Gold Spa in Northeast Atlanta offered to perform sexual acts on undercover officers for money, the records show. I'm just reminding you of some things. The officers were following up on anonymous tips, the department said. Y'all know that Keisha Lance Bottoms, a member of LOM, a member of the League of Mammies, that black lady named Keisha Bottom, who's a mayor there, she done lied in less than 24 hours after it came out. Remember, she went before the world during that press conference talking about these establishments were operating legally. I asked the question then, was she covering for somebody? Just like that New England's owner, Kraft, out in Florida got busted. He got busted. It was an Asian spa place. But they was doing a little bit more than what the sign said they was doing at that place. Talk black to me. Don't forget that. The police said the massage therapist arrested at Gold Spa between 2011 and 2014 charged $60 for a massage and offered to perform a variety of sex acts for up to $400. Lomina Joy Reed is sitting there putting the cape on, but she's not giving you this information. If you all know darn well that if black folks were accused of committing any type of crimes and there was any evidence that was true, that would be the first thing that the media would be talking about. Why is it that nobody's talking about the criminal activity that was going on in these spas? I said, the police said that the massage therapist arrested charged $60 for a massage and offered to perform a variety of sex acts for up to $400. The women were charged with prostitution, keeping a place of prostitution, masturbation for hire, and other offenses. That's what the article says. It is unclear who owned the spa at the time of the arrest. Several reports show that the women who were arrested had listed the spa as both their work and home addresses. Remember, I broke that down the other day. Somebody said they was upselling. Yeah, I guess so, huh? They're upselling. You can upsell it and everything, apparently. It's just a $60 to a $400 range. Listen, human trafficking advocates have said that women who work at illicit Asian massage spas are often coerced into performing sexual work and live in a state of essential indentured servitude. Family, stop playing. We're not talking about young people that are sexually trafficked here. There's no excuse at all for that. We're talking about grown women. Remember the other articles that I read to you from before, where they said that the women, when they found out that they would have room and boarding and food, they considered it to be hard to turn down to work for these places. Many of them, most of them, some would even say all of them, were trying to pay off the thousands of dollars to the smugglers that got them here. So many of them are illegals. And remember, the reports from officials say that they were more afraid of getting busted and arrested than they were from being robbed. Why? Because if they was arrested, they know that they would be shipped back home, because many of them were illegal. Y'all need to be asking Joy Reid, Don Lemon, and your other little black faces, Reverend Al Sharpton and them that got little shows on white media. Why aren't they talking about these provable aspects? It proves that they're pushing an agenda. Anytime the media doesn't want you to know the full scope of truth, it's because they're trying to push an agenda for a reason. These folks, many of them were criminals. They were engaged, some would say, not just in state and national, federal law violations, but I would even say internationally, because remember, I told you that some of them were coming from China and Korea. And the other article I read you from said they were sending money back to their homes. Some of them intentionally and knowingly came here. When you get caught up, when your loved one get caught up, your loved one says that the lights are out, the mom is nowhere around, dad's locked up, and they're just trying to make ends meet. No court or authority has any sympathy for them. When they said that they did something illegal temporarily so that they could just live, so they could make sure that their little brother or sister who didn't have anything to eat would have some food on the table. Nobody shows sympathy for black folk when you show that you're in a desperate situation and you're trying to put food on the table. But foreigners, many of whom who came to the country illegally, knowing that they were going to stay, they would be engaged in illegal activity, knowingly, consciously, and just wanted to make sure that they didn't get busted so that they could pay the smuggler who illegally got them here off. They tell you that they are victims, They tell you that those grown-ups were coerced. Those grown-ups were exploited. Even though we read and we heard from some of them, in one of the reports that I read you before, remember, one of the reports says that they busted several women who the article described as nothing but Asian women, but they said they had to separate the so-called victims from the actual perpetrators. Because some of the women were even acting as madams. Y'all would call the males pimps. Or they were the ones that were helping to recruit. I'm talking about grown-ups. I'm not talking about no babies and children. We are not going to take the fall. We will not accept being framed. And we will not continue to allow ourselves to be exploited by different communities, while all the headlines now are talking about no no anti-Asian hate and all this. Family, we love everybody. We're not hating on nobody, but we're saying it's not fair that other people get to butt in line. It's not fair that other cultures and other people get reparations and we haven't gotten it yet. It's not fair that you're not telling the truth about criminal activity that they're engaged in, but you will throw Black victims who were murdered by white supremacists under the bus. You will talk about the past of the individual Black person that was murdered. You will talk about their past. You will demonize the dead, but you refuse to say the illegal criminal activity that these folk were involved in. And then you push another agenda. We're not going to let that go. Somebody talk Black to me. Thank you so much for tuning into the Vicki Show. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Join my weekly mastermind, sis, at clubvicki.com, clubvicki.com, clubvicki.com. Join for $1. It's amazing. Once a week, I break down a spiritual, metaphysical principle. You get to ask me questions there. Lives have been changed. Not only that, beloved, if you missed my dear sister, I did a special 2-hour mastermind called The Secret Money in Your Womb. It was amazing. The testimonies are just still coming in, flooding in, out of this world. It was part 2 that I did this past Saturday called The Secret Money in Your Womb. You are the ATM. Oh my God, you can catch the replay. Get it now at flynubianmastermind.com. The moderators will put the link in the chat. flynubianmastermind.com, flynubianmastermind.com. If you join clubvicki.com, my weekly mastermind, you get access free. So there's 2 ways. If you join clubvicki.com, that's clubvicki.com, VICKI. For $1, you get access to the 2-hour special webinar I did on The Secret Money in Your Womb Part 2 free. If you don't want to join the weekly mastermind, no problem. Just go to flynubianmastermind.com. That's flynubianmastermind.com. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for tuning into the Vicki Show. Again, I didn't post today, but thank those of you who came on in for showing up. I hope to go on tomorrow at the same time, same place, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll do a brief war briefing tomorrow, okay? Love you. I bow to you. You are my bliss. Make sure that you share.